everybody, welcome to the Football Philosophy channel and a happy new year. It can't be, surely 2021 can't be as bad as 2020 was. There's got to be some improvement soon. So wishing everyone out there a happy new year, a happy and prosperous 2021. The United are playing Villa tonight in the Premier League at Old Trafford. I'll be coming to that game very shortly, but just very quickly, the player in focus that we've done it in two ways this time. For the first time, the Matic came out on top in the voting. He gathered 34% of the votes. We've already put the video up on Twitter, on YouTube, talking about Nemanja Matic. But we've also made a video with the actual clips on the video. You can see that video with the clips on it, so me talking over the actual video footage, which obviously we can't do on YouTube, but that's available to see in Dropbox. If you go onto Rick the Red UK on Twitter, there is a link there. You can click on that link and it'll take you to Dropbox, and you can actually see the Nemanja Matic player in focus with me talking over the clips, and you can actually see the clips as I'm talking. I'll still be putting the clips up on Twitter, so if you're just going to see that on YouTube and you want to see the clips will be on Twitter. But as I say, there is also a link there that you can click on. It'll take you to Dropbox and you can actually watch the videos with me talking over the videos. So if you like that sort of thing, I'm sure it's a good watch. That I think you'll enjoy it. So tonight, Aston Villa at Old Trafford, a massive 3 points. Every game's massive at the minute. I don't like saying that we're in a title race. Obviously, you keep thinking about it. It's just amazing to think we are where we are. Especially, the start that we had, losing to Palace at home, getting murdered by Spurs at home, and here we are. It's January the 1st, and there's no two ways about it. We are in a title race. It's astonishing, really, where we've come to. January the 1st is a time when you would always think anyone who's in a title race is definitely in the title race and might not go away. But I've just got to pour a little cold water on it and sort of point out, I'm sure everybody's aware of it, that with the season starting a little bit later, although we are at the turn of the year now, as I say, it's the 1st of January, although we are at the turn of the year, we haven't played as many games as we would normally have played at this stage. We're about 4 games short, I think, of what we would normally would have played by this stage. But nevertheless, most teams have played 15 or 16 games in the league, so we are up there. We're actually 3 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool are on 33 points. We're on 30 points with 1 game in hand. That date for that game in hand has now been established. It's Tuesday, the 12th of January, about 5 days before we play Liverpool. So we will be on level games with Liverpool by the time we play them. So if we can beat Villa tonight and beat Burnley away, the worst case scenario, we would be going to Anfield level with Liverpool. Can't believe that situation can be with us, but I'm over the moon with it. It's astonishing. So desperate to win these 2 games. Who's to say Liverpool don't drop points? They've got they're at Southampton on Monday night. That's not an easy fixture. So that could be an interesting one on. Are they at Southampton? Well, they're certainly playing Southampton anyway. I'm not sure if they're at home or away, but they're playing Southampton on Monday night. Not an easy fixture, it really isn't. So you never know with that one. But as I always say, all you can do is keep your own house in order. You've got to keep winning your games, stay in the hunt, and keep the pressure on the opposition. First, take it 1 game at a time. I always say this as well. It's okay for the fans to look ahead. The players and the staff, the management, they can't look ahead at other games. Obviously they do, but they don't talk about it. They just always say, taking 1 game at a time. So this game tonight is the most important game on our calendar. Don't worry about anything in the future. We've got to win this game tonight. So how will he go about this game tonight? Will he make, how many changes will he make? I think the games are coming obviously so thick and fast. We only played on Tuesday. It's now Friday. So will there be changes? I think there will be a few changes. I think I can expect Scott McTominay to come back into the team, and Fred will probably come back in. Pogba and Matic started the other day. But I think I thought Matic, as I've just spoken about that player in focus, I thought Matic had a wonderful game. I thought he had a fantastic game against Everton in the Carabao Cup last week, especially impressive at Goodison. We more or less controlled that game from start to finish. Then against Wolves the other night, I wouldn't say we controlled the game from start to finish, but we certainly had more control of the game than we had against Leicester, for example, in the last game, on the last league game last Saturday, or even, believe it or not, even though we beat Leeds 6-2, it was such an end-to-end game that, and although we did win 6-2 and you feel like you're in control of the game, obviously McTominay scored twice in the first 3 minutes, there's different manners of saying that you're in control of the game. You are in control of the game once you're 2 or 3 goals up. Of course you are. You've got the upper hand and you should always expect to win that game. But Leeds did get chance after chance. Whether it would have changed much if they would have put one of those in. So I believe we had more control of the game against Everton and more control of the game against Wolves even than we did against Leeds, because it was just such end-to-end stuff. There was almost as many chances at our end as there was at their end, even though we won 6-2. So I just think we've got more control of the game, I think, when Matic plays. And if you think about it, a lot of people are always on at me about why do you have a go at Fred, and why is Matic so much better? If you think of it this way, even the people who support Fred and want Fred. When I say support Fred, I support any United player. Once they're in the team, it's up to the manager who's in the team. I support every player. But there's nothing wrong with having your own opinion or your own favourites, if you like. And you can have your own favourites for different reasons. I believe that Matic is a better player, gives us more control of the game. He's bigger, he's stronger. I do like physical presence on a football field. But as I was about to say, lots of people who prefer to have Fred in the team, even those people, one of the first things they mention is Fred's terrier-like qualities of getting around the pitch, getting tackles in, and winning the ball back. Now, if you think about that, people don't talk about things like that. With Matic, he's obviously a different type of player, but I believe that we get more control of the game, and Matic is a more calming sort of personality, if you like, on the field. When Matic plays, obviously it's not the same every game, but when Matic plays, we tend not to have to win the ball back. We don't have to scurry around the field. We don't have to be making so many tackles. It's not the first thing that you speak about when you speak about Nemanja Matic. You talk about poise, power, strength, passing range, and we're Man United. Shouldn't we be trying to get control of games rather than worrying about having to go and win? Of course, you've got to win the ball back at times, but if you play the game in the right manner, you can force the opposition into mistakes without having to go charging round into tackles left, right and centre. So I'm not so sure that the main strengths of Fred's game that even Fred fans talk about, I'm not so sure it's a particular part of the game that Man United, being Man United, need to worry about so much, or shouldn't be worrying about so much. I mean, even if you go back many years to our halcyon days of Keane and Scholes in the midfield, even Keano, I don't think people just used to say, he runs around the field making tackles. Keane brought a lot of calmness and a lot of poise and presence on the ball to the game. He's, defensive midfield player, but obviously we're not suggesting for 1 minute that we're going to have another player like Roy Keane. But Roy Keane, who was so strong in the tackle, so determined, and he used to raise the players around him. The first thing people speak about Keano isn't the fact that he used to go racing around the pitch making loads of tackles. It isn't. And that's the first thing that gets said about Fred. I think people are maybe getting a bit overhyped about something that really shouldn't necessarily be the be-all and end-all for a Man United midfield player. In fact, calmness, coolness, control of the ball, passing, lots of different things come ahead of being able to run around the pitch making tackles. That's my own opinion. But I do think, getting back to tonight's game, I do think he's going to chop it and change it again. There is a little part of me that thinks Ollie must realise that we're playing better with in the last 4 games, despite beating Leeds 6-2. As I said, Leeds had loads of chances. Everton had hardly a chance against us. I know it was a League Cup tie, that, but Everton played a full-strength team. You know, Everton are 1 point behind us in the table, and they played a full-strength team against us. And they hardly had a goal-scoring chance in the game. I don't think they had one clear-cut chance. And then against Wolves the other night, all right, Wolves had a couple of chances, but overall, United were pretty cool in that game and never really under much pressure. And United were on top. They controlled the game. They certainly controlled the game against Everton, and they had more control of the game against Wolves than we did against Leicester or we did against Leeds. That's the last 4 games. Ollie must be seeing that, surely. Will Ollie be tempted tonight? He's bound to be tempted to keep Matic in the team. You know, Villa are riding high as well. It's not an easy game by any stretch. So I think he will be tempted, but I'm going to go with that he'll chop and change it on a next Wednesday, I think it is. We've got the Carabao Cup tie against City. Perhaps he'll go with McTominay and Fred tonight. Against City, though, next week, it will be important winning the ball back. It's horses for courses. It's different games. Against City, it's important being able to win the ball back. Will he have that in his mind? Perhaps he might go with Pogba and Matic tonight and go back to McTominay and Fred against City next week on the Wednesday night game. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see, but I'll have a little stab at it. And I'll go now with what I think the lineup will be tonight. I think David De Gea is going to be in goal. I think Wan-Bissaka will play. I think Bailey will play again. I'm not sure if Lindelof's fit again, but even if they think he's fit, I think it's a good thing for him to have a rest. He's missed 1 game. Bailey did fine. So I think Bailey will play next to Maguire. I think Luke Shaw will come back in for Telles. He took Telles off at half-time the other night, so they had half a game each. I think Shaw will start tonight. I'd have to go with McTominay and Fred. He probably will switch it back. Like I say, he'll probably be having sleepless nights over it, to be honest, the way they're all playing, really. But I do think Matic is equally as important, if not more important, than any of the other midfield players. So I do think that'll be in his mind. But it's probably just going to be that it's the turn of McTominay and Fred again. So I think McTominay and Fred will start with Bruno at number 10. Edison Cavani has now got a suspension for 3 games. I'm pretty sure that kicks in today. So I think he's going to miss the Villa game. He's going to miss 1 game in each of 3 tournaments. He's going to miss the Villa game. He's going to miss the City game in the Carabao Cup, and he's going to miss the Watford game in the FA Cup. I think that's how that'll work. So Cavani's not available tonight, so Anthony Martial will certainly start at number 9. I'd be amazed if he doesn't. Marcus Rashford will start on the left. On the right-hand side is another intriguing situation. Mason Greenwood was substituted again after about an hour of the game against Wolves. Dan James started against Leicester. He was substituted after about an hour, and it's virtually every time either of those 2 players play on the right, they get substituted after an hour or so, no matter which one of them plays. Obviously, there's the odd game where that doesn't happen. And for example, Dan James played against Leeds, but as we've just said, we were 4, 5, 6 goals up from an hour in or something like that. We're 4-1 up at half time. There's no real need to substitute players. Your substitutions are for different reasons when you're leading so much. I think he took Rashford off and he took Bruno Fernandes off against Leeds, obviously to give them a rest just because he could, because of the scoreline. So, had that game been 0-0 or 1-1 after an hour, I've no doubt in my mind that Dan James would have got substituted again. So it's virtually, no matter who plays, whether it's Dan James or Mason Greenwood, if the game's not going great, they're always the first one to get the curly finger. as I call it. So he's obviously got a slight problem with that right hand side. Whoever starts there, he's never completely happy with him. People can say all they want about, oh yeah, well, he's got to give somebody a run, or he's got to make a substitution at some stage. Some players need a rest. Well, he's resting the same player, so it's whoever plays the game. Plus, because he's been chopping and changing it, they don't need a rest, do they? Why does Dan James need a rest when he's only playing every other game at the minute, and Mason's only playing every other game at the minute, and yet still only getting an hour or so when they do play? So there's no doubt whatsoever that Ollie is not convinced with who should be his wide right player when he's playing with three forwards. Another player who's played that position for us numerous occasions is vsMatic, and with Ollie being so unimpressed, if you like, because it's definitely the case, there's no point denying it, with him being so unimpressed with Dan James and unimpressed, he won't say that on camera, obviously. He always gives him a great write up when no matter who plays. But he's unimpressed by Mason, he's unimpressed by Dan James, always gets subbed, always whichever player plays, and sometimes fairly early in the game as well, not like the 80th minute, it's often the 60th, the 65th minute. So he's not impressed with his right hand side. Now, vsMatic has played there on many occasions for us and doesn't seem to be in the equation at the minute. I wonder if vsMatic might come into his thinking for tonight, or will it just be Mason Greenwood again, or perhaps Dan James will come back in again? Because I don't see what vsMatic does especially wrong, if you like, to put him behind those two and hardly ever getting a look in these days. And I'm just thinking that vsMatic might just be in his mind tonight. I'm probably going to be a mile out, but I'm going to predict that vsMatic is going to get a game tonight, wide on the right. So just to recap, my predicted team for the game tonight is De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Bailey, Maguire and Shaw, McTominay and Fred in central midfield, Bruno at number 10, and a front three of vsMatic, Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford. Whatever team he does pick, the 3 points are absolutely vital. I've just mentioned that Everton. I mentioned that Everton are only just behind us. Everton have got 29 points. Everton are playing West Ham before we play tonight, so Everton could actually jump ahead of us. So as much as we could catch Liverpool by winning tonight, if Everton beat West Ham before we play, we'll actually slip to third, and we would be 2 points behind Everton. So a point wouldn't be good enough for us even to get back into second. So there's more than one permutation tonight. Everton could be above us by the time the football's finished this evening. We need to win that game, make sure we're still in second. We can't go top, by the way. Liverpool's goal difference is about 9 better than ours. I don't care what anyone says. We're not going to beat Villa 9-0. That's not going to happen. So the best we can do is go joint top, second on goal difference to Liverpool with a win. But as I say, if Everton beat West Ham first, if Everton beat West Ham, they'll jump above us and we'll slip into third until we play our game. Everton v West Ham, by the way, is interesting. I've noticed that West Ham are having a decent season. They're in 10th, West Ham. But although they're in 10th, if they can win at Goodison tonight, if they can happen to win, they move within 3 points of Everton, who are in 4th. So it shows you how tight it is at the top of the table at the minute. It really is tight. West Ham are in 10th, and yet could be 3 points outside the top 4 after they've played Everton at Goodison later, if they can get that win. And it will be a difficult game for both teams. So that'll be an interesting watch. I'm going to watch that before the United game. The United game is on at 8 o'clock on Sky Sports. Everton West Ham is on BT Sport at 5:30. So I'll be watching that first. Before we go live, we'll be going live at 6:45 tonight, talking about the team and what the team will be. And then obviously the team news will be out at 7 o'clock. We'll be answering questions that people put to us in the comments. So that's that for today. Hope we get the 3 points, or that's that for this afternoon. Hope we get the 3 points and go to the joint, let's call it joint top rather than second. We'd be second on goal difference, but at least we'd be joint top until at least Monday evening, if we can win tonight. Liverpool and Southampton is on Monday evening. If you've enjoyed that show, please tell all your friends. Please subscribe. If you didn't enjoy it, don't tell anyone. Keep stum.